Known as Little Africa, Cameroon got this name because of its geographical and cultural diversity. Our country has a mix of 250 indigenous populations and was originally a series of separate tribes later forced together by German colonizers. Through German exploration, it was found, by means of trade routes, that the Cameroon region was plentiful in resources such as ivory, palm oil, and kernel, and had fertile soil for plantations and agriculture. Cameroon became a German colony in July of 1884, but rule was turned over in 1916 to the British and French following World War I through the League of Nations.
However, the overseeing of Cameroon by the British and French was different from that of Germany. Germany had unknowingly started the nationalism movements and ideas in Cameroon, and the British and French had further split the country and were blamed for ruling terribly and unfairly.
While under French rule, we enacted policies of assimilation that aimed to remove all German influence. This consisted of nationwide integration of the French law and language.
French Cameroon gained its independence 3 years ago in 1960, but at that point was not yet fully unified with British Cameroon. Cameroon finally became its own nation in 1961 by the merging of the two former colonies, producing a constitution as a result. Although Cameroon is now unified, there has still been conflict as we struggled from shifting from a one-party rule to a multi-party political system. Our political agenda is to unite our country ideologically and culturally, and we have high hopes that membership in the OAU will help to do this, nurturing a unifying attitude among our people. Promoting brotherhood, justice, unity, and progress in our country is one of our major goals. Additionally, we share the OAU's goal of eradication and colonialism, so membership will help us to form a solid culture of our own and rid our society of remnants that the French and British left behind.
Our Constitution guarantees every Cameroonian the right of participation in the government of our country, whether directly or by way of elected officials. This includes women who have and will continue to hold a number of posts. However, the Constitution does not guarantee proportional representation.
Our country's cash crops are cacao, coffee, cotton, bananas, palm oil, and peanuts. Although we are not considered economically free, our GDP is increasing rapidly, which will allow our country and citizens more of a degree of economic liberty. Our economic agenda is to further expand the trade of our numerous natural resource exports and increase our GDP.
We hope that with membership in the OAU, we will be able to do so. Additionally, the economy of the North in our country is lagging significantly behind our South. So since one of the OAU's goals is to promote solidarity among African states, that goal will benefit us economically and socially, helping to bring all the parts of our country together.
Currently, we are known for our stability and how our social actions are focused on increasing stability in our nations, and through our stability, surrounding countries would also be able to benefit.
Specifically, we need to target the HIV/AIDS epidemic, one of the biggest health concerns in Cameroon, which is particularly widespread among young women.
Immediately in our founding and constitution, emphasizing the improvement of health facilities and modernizing hospitals led to real action and the modernization of most of the hospitals in the cities of Cameroon. Additionally, education has greatly expanded since 1961, almost raising to one of the highest rates of school attendance in Africa.
The social agenda of our region is to bring more to the testing and treatment process of not only HIV and AIDS, but also other diseases such as malaria and dysentery. We recognize that education varies throughout regions and that it does not adapt to labor needs. So in addition to treatment of diseases, our social agenda would also be to work on educational improvements.
Economically, militarily, and educationally, we have an abundance of benefits that will help the OAU once we attain membership. Cameroon's coastal adjacence and suitable climate allows for successful harvests and an abundance of natural resources. Cocoa, one of Cameroon's crops, is just one of many exports, most of which are natural and come from the diverse environment of the country. The OAU would benefit from our exports and trade and variety of crops and goods. Our Douala-Yaoundé railway line has serviced the entirety of Cameroon for over 50 years, and we'd love for it to service the rest of the OAU. As a country, we want to further our railways, starting with an extension of the Northern Railway to Kumba, a distance totaling 29 kilometers. As the powerful transportation systems grow increasingly effective, members of the OAU could use our railway lines to move their own exports, benefiting them economically. Cameroon also has a strong presence of educational institutions. There are schools for primary students, secondary students, and teachers. Our schools foster the development of intelligent citizens, proven by our high rates of school attendance. Our schools could also provide education for teachers and students of other countries in the OAU. Finally, Cameroon has a strong military force that has allotted troops for peacekeeping operations, or PKOs. If military presence is needed by members of the OAU, PKO forces would stand as military presence characterized by strong support.